Miss Chantel said that she was 21 at the time, and she went back to her dad. Prior to this day, she went back to her dad because she was pregnant. She was pregnant at the time. And she wasn't living with her dad when she was pregnant. She told her dad that she was pregnant, and she got scared, and he let her come back. Miss Chantel is saying, well, people in the comments like, well, if her dad did this to her, why would she go back to her dad? And Miss Chantel is saying, you need to understand, I was a child. Like, I was not a child, but this was my father. I wanted my father. I believe in her mind, it's like, he's my abuser, but he's my father. He's what I know. I understand both sides. I really do. I understand both sides. But it is a lot of people who like to say that they would not do something if they were in that particular situation that this young lady was in. That's nice that you can say that. I'm sure we can say a lot of fucking shit that we wouldn't do and all this other shit. And in a lot of cases, that might actually be the case. But don't condemn her for being a daughter, still yearning for the support of a moral father. Don't condemn her for that. That's not going to stop me from supporting her because of the decision she made. Because you'll find that a lot of traumatized and abused people do shit that makes no sense to you because you're on the outside saying what you would have done. It makes no sense to you, but you're not in that situation, so that you're not understanding this, the mindset she had. You don't understand, and it's okay. She's saying, Miss Chantel is saying that she didn't have her mom. She only had her dad. And she wanted him to be a father to her. To be the parent that she never had. And she overlooked a lot of stuff and gave him the benefit of the doubt because he was the only parent that she had. I was completely in her fucking situation. Except I was with my mother. I didn't have my dad. And my mother was one of my abusers. So I completely understand where she is coming from. You stay around, you stick around, you're there always, you're supporting. Why? Because you're waiting for your mom or your dad to show up for you. Especially if that's all you have. My mom was my abuser, but guess what? I supported her. Even after I left the home, I supported her. And she was still abusive. So to all you motherfuckers out here who are like, if she was really abused, why would she go back for somebody like her? And for somebody like me, let me spell this out for you. Shut the fuck up. Because you're not in this situation. You've never been in this fucking situation. And unless you were in this situation, you don't understand the thought pattern, the thought process. You don't understand it. And you never fucking will. Because you were not a child who had to deal with this. You were not an adult who had to deal with the suppressed memories you had. And still hold. So you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But you're not somebody who can speak about this situation if you were never in it. You can say what the fuck you want to say because everybody got a fucking opinion. But don't condemn her. I'm going to back her because I understand that shit. Okay, so this is what's irritating me about this interview with Tasha K, okay? I don't like the fact that She's using what they have already told her to question Miss Chantel. Instead of asking her open-ended questions and allowing her to give you the answer, and then waiting for her to finish an answer before you're asking her a new one. Because I think this is a way for you to confuse her. And I don't think that this is, it's definitely not saying I support you. It's definitely not. I feel like Tasha K has already made her position known. That she's not supporting Miss Chantel. At least in this interview. And this is the first one. I don't know if she had another one, but this is the first one with her. With Miss Chantel. I mean, why are you doing that? That's why I said that Tasha K is coming off accusatory. And the way that she's asking these questions is almost like she's already made up in her mind that she knows the truth and Miss Chantel is lying, or she could be lying. Let me make sure you ain't lying. I mean, even her facial expressions are showing that, the way she's looking at Miss Chantel when she's asking these questions. But the fact that she keep asking her a question, not allowing her to answer the question, cutting her off and asking another question, what the fuck are you doing? Let her answer the damn question. These people done told you whatever they fucking told you. You're running with their storyline. I mean, it's almost like Miss Chantel don't even have a chance. This is not what the fuck these types of interviews should be about. You don't know her, just like you don't even know the fucking family. But it seems like, and this is my opinion, that Miss Tasha K, you already chose a side. Like she's guilty and she need to prove her innocence. But I can tell you right now, you're not somebody who is I don't even know if I should say this about her. I'm going to reserve that thought. But I don't like how this interview is going with Miss Chantel. Because this interview did not go anything like this for the father, the brother, or the ex-wife. They were able to finish everything that they had to say. She wasn't cutting them off before they finished explaining. Like, why are you doing that to Chantel? Why are you doing that to her? The only person in this situation that I completely believe. And this could be a situation where it's because me and Tasha K are standing on two different sides of the equation in this matter, meaning that Tasha K may not have experienced the type of abuse that Miss Chantel is going through, and I have. Including how her thought processes did not seem coherent with the situation. So I'm relating with Miss Chantel on a different level. But I can tell you that Tasha K's questioning and her mannerisms suggest that she does not support Miss Chantel at all. She's not even giving her the courtesy and respect to finish explaining what she knows about the situations. She's cutting her off and interjecting with what the family told Tasha K. Like Tasha K keeps interjecting Miss Chantel. Interjecting into Miss Chantel's explanation, using the responses and answers and her understanding that came from the other family members. That shit is crazy to me. Now they really, I mean, they're going at it because Chantel's like, what? That's not why. This is not why. But you as the interviewer should be allowing Chantel to speak. I don't understand. I don't understand what she's doing here. This shit is throwing me the fuck off. Like I don't understand what Tasha K's motive is here. What is she doing? I feel like she's trying to trip Miss Chantel up. Like I said, it's a situation. Miss Chantel is the one who's guilty until proven innocent, not the father. I'm sorry. I don't agree. So when Tasha K finally allowed Miss Chantel to speak about the situation with her wanting to go to the car show with her friend, Miss Chantel says that she spoke to the brother's wife. Because Tasha K said, so you was willing to leave your baby with one of your alleged rapists to go to the car show. And she's talking about Miss Chantel's brother, Brandon. Because remember, the altercation, there was an altercation supposedly from the dad's explanation to Tasha K, that Miss Chantel wanted to go to the car show and wanted Brandon to watch her child, and Brandon was telling her no. So Miss Chantel is clearing that up. She's saying that she spoke to Brandon's wife. So Brandon's wife was there. Neither one of them mentioned that in the interview with Tasha K. The dad didn't mention that, and the brother didn't mention that shit either. Neither one of them mentioned that. We didn't fucking know that. We don't know what we don't know. But Chantel was there. So neither the dad nor the brother said anything to Tasha K about Brandon's wife being at the house that day, or Chantel speaking with the wife. So Miss Chantel is saying that she spoke with the wife. The wife said it was okay, that she didn't mind watching the baby, but that Brandon was the one who said no because the wife didn't ask him first. It didn't go through him. Basically, she's saying that the reason it was an issue is because it wasn't mentioned to Brandon first before the wife agreed to babysit. What the fuck? Does the wife need your approval to make a decision about what she will do and won't do? I mean, I don't know what the situation was, but if Miss Chantel is saying that the reason why Brandon didn't allow the wife to watch the baby is because it didn't go through him first, who the fuck is he to tell the wife what the fuck to do? If the wife don't mind watching the baby, she grown. If the wife don't mind watching the baby, what the hell does he have to do with that? And what does that say about you as a husband? Your wife can't make decisions without you? Why do I get the feeling that the brother seems to really be taking after his dad? After his dad's characteristics. That's what I'm getting. I mean, because if my stepsister asks me, can I watch her baby? And I'm not doing anything, and I tell her yes, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not talking to my husband about that. If anything, I might say, I'm going to be watching the baby, so whatever, it would be like a casual conversation type of thing. It's not me going to him and getting his approval or asking him or anything like that first before I let her know something. Because I have my own motherfucking mind. I can think on my own. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? But I just find it interesting that Miss Chantel was finally able to clear that shit up about what really went down, or how this shit started, how this whole incident that they started. And that's how it started. Because she basically got the okay from Brandon's wife. That was never mentioned. I never heard about it until now. This shit is crazy. And Miss Chantel also said, once again, that this was her brother. You know, her brother, she wasn't holding what her brother did against her, against him now. Like, she had forgiven him for what he did because he was also molested. So there was a shared commonality there between her and her brother. Even if he denies it, but she's willing to tell it. I don't know the situation. I'm just going by what Miss Chantel is saying. And I believe her. So in my opinion, I understand what the fuck she's going through, and I support her still. She wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. She didn't want to hold hurt and pain and all this in her heart and not be able to forgive her brother or her father. So she gave them chance after chance after chance, and it's almost like she's being condemned because she made that choice. What the fuck? So when Tasha K is doing the rundown of the situation, why is she saying you get into it with the wife at the time? I don't know her name, but then the police were called. Tasha K, what you mean you don't know her name? Are you, I mean, like, what do you mean you don't know her name? She came on your show. This is the same incident where the ex-wife, whose name is Leah, because she came on Tasha K's show. Why the fuck is she why is Tasha K saying, I don't know her name? I don't know who she is. What do you mean? If this is the same situation where the ex-wife was telling Tasha K that she told the police that Chantel was the reason why she was bleeding, then what the fuck do you mean you don't know who the ex-wife, you don't know who the wife was? What? Leah came on your show and told you. What? I mean, do I need to go back and look at the interview between them? Because I'm pretty sure it was Leah at the time. What? Miss Chantel is clearing up why the police were called. She said the police were called because she was he, the father, was throwing her and her baby stuff out the house. That's why. Her father was throwing their stuff out the door, and she said she was paying him rent. Miss Chantel just told Tasha K that during this time, she was paying him rent. The father didn't mention that shit. The father said that he was taking care of Chantel her whole life. That he was doing everything for her. Made it seem like she was dependent on him. So if she depended on you, why the fuck is she paying you rent? Why you didn't mention that? He didn't mention that in his interview at all, that Miss Chantel was paying him rent. The way he painted the story, you know, it's his narration here, was that she was living off of him. He was taking care of her. He was providing for her. But she just said she was paying him rent. He didn't say that. Now, what the fuck the dad didn't tell us that? Remember, I told you the dad was trying to paint Miss Chantel irresponsibly. That she was irresponsible. But an irresponsible person don't pay you rent. Okay. She said he wasn't letting her live there for free. She was paying rent. But the father didn't tell us that. When did the father tell us that when Miss Chantel came to live back with him and he gave her the guest room, so she had her own private area with her and her daughter? He mentioned nothing about her paying rent. Why is that? Because it goes against his narrative of her being irresponsible. That's why he didn't tell you. Miss Chantel is clearing up the fact that she told them that she was going to call the police because they didn't want to give her her stuff. And she said she had a friend there as well. During this situation, there was a friend there. Tasha K keep going back to the ping situation. She keep going back to this. If it was me, I would be allowing Miss Chantel to present to me the situation so that I can form my own fucking opinion. If it was me. Tasha K is coming off like she's already got an understanding. And because she thinks she knows what she knows, she's repeating what she knows. And questioning Miss Chantel, like questioning her story as she's telling it. Why the fuck are you doing that? And I'm telling you, the way that Miss Chantel is looking at Tasha is the same way I'm looking. Like, just like that. Yo, she got the same. I have this thing that I do with my eyebrow. When I'm serious as fuck, my eyebrow raises. Like, you'll see it. It raises. She does the same fucking thing. And that's how I know that this woman is speaking with conviction. Okay? I'm more likely to believe her out of anybody else. At this point. And that's not just because of where my position is as far as how I relate to her. That's also how Tasha K is doing this interview. I don't agree with it. I do not agree with the way that she's doing this interview. I am telling you, it comes off accusatory. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. But Miss Chantel doing the same fucking thing. I don't know what it is, but it's like when you speak. What? I don't know what the fuck wrong with Tasha K. I don't know. Because I don't agree with none of her tactics at all. So, Tasha K, like I said, she's back on this. She keeps going back to this circumcised thing. So, now she's asking the question again. How is it that you're saying if this man did this to you, where he supposedly blindfolded her, that's what this is what how Tasha K is saying it. He supposedly blindfolded you, but you were giving him oral, and then you said that he physically penetrated you. How is it that at 21 years old you don't know that he was circumcised? And Miss Chantel, because when she was blindfolded and he was making her suck his thing, he was making her do things. He was making her do things where he would push down on his like. She's trying to explain it where he would push down on his belly or something. Like the lower part of his stomach or the upper part of where his penis is, he would push down on it. And she's trying to explain it as best she can, because remember, she's blindfolded. But there's something that the dad was doing during that time. Miss Chantel said he would press his peen down to extend his penis. That's what he was doing. Pressing down on like the top of it to extend it out. That's what he was doing. Because she said that her father was big, like he was heavy set during this time. She's trying her best to explain it. She said she could feel where his hand is. So he was doing this while her face was down there. So she could feel his hands, like the hand movements. Even though she couldn't see, she could feel the hand movements, so she can kind of guesstimate like what he was doing with his hands because of the motion of his hands. Because she could feel him doing it. His hands was touching like around her mouth or her face when she was down there. Like, she's making it clear that he was, because Tasha K asked the question, so he was blindfolding you the entire time he was raping you. I don't like that fucking question because she's talking about two different situations here when it comes to her abuse. But Miss Chantel is making it very clear, which is another reason why I respect her. She's making it very clear that no, he was blindfolding me when he was orally me, okay? And then when he was physically penetrating her, she wasn't blindfolded anymore. So Miss Chantel is clearing up that the reason why she told the police that remember when the father was like, he has all that meat down there, that the police she told the police that he has all that meat down there. Miss Chantel is saying that she was saying to the police that she didn't believe he was circumcised because of the movements he was making, and I guess what she could feel. That's why she was telling the police that. So it's like hard for her to try to explain why she thought he was not circumcised. But I can tell you, at that age, there's no way she knows the difference between one or the other. And if he was blindfolding her, she could never give a description of what it looked like. She could only go by what she was feeling from his hands, in her mouth, and all of that. That's all she could do. And when he was penetrating her, she didn't say whether or not she ever looked at it. It might not have ever been that situation where she looked at it. I mean, saying that somebody is circumcised or not circumcised when they are, you act like that is the most idiotic question. I mean, for a long time, I didn't know what uncircumcised and circumcised was either. I had an ex who had to tell me, because I didn't know. I just knew his was different. That's all I knew. And I was grown at this point. I knew his was different than the other ones that I had before. But I didn't know that's what that was until he told me. And then I started doing research. I had never done research on that shit. I didn't know. But all I knew was that his shit was different from the other guys. But I was grown at this point and I didn't know the difference. He had to tell me that. And then I did my research. So now I know the difference between one. But she wouldn't have known that as a child. And she wouldn't have known that during the, she probably was less likely to know that during her teenage years when this abuse was happening. Like, I mean, teenagers are going around knowing the difference between circumcised and uncircumcised. A lot of teenagers not having sex. So, oh my God. I'm not going to be hemmed up on this fucking topic. But what I'm going to tell you is that Miss Chantel was trying to explain to Tasha K why she told the police that. She's not saying that she didn't say it. She's saying that she said it. She did say it, and she admitted that she was wrong. But she's also trying to explain why she told them that. What I'm saying is she's taking accountability for what she said. That's what I'm saying. You're not making her back down from her story. She's not giving you excuses. She not beat around the bush. She not stuttering. She ain't got run-on sentences. She still got complete sentences. She's still a matter of fact. She still got my support. Miss Chantel is, she's like, I want to find these videos, but it's clear that you have talked to them. So when Tasha K did this video, Miss Chantel had no idea that she had already interviewed the other family members. She had no idea. So everything so far that I've brought to your attention about what Miss Chantel has been clearing the air about or giving responses to in regards to Tasha K's questioning, she had no knowledge that Tasha K had even talked to the other family members. No knowledge. None. I just want to put that out there. She didn't even know. So at this point, she's telling Tasha K, okay, it's very clear to me now that you done spoke to them. You done spoke to the other family members. Thank you. Basically, she didn't say thank you, but she said, let me find, I really need to find these videos. So she's looking through her phone right now, because she need to find these videos. This is crazy. This is crazy. So what's interesting is Tasha K is like, well, you went and did this interview and you put out your allegations, so you know they have a right to speak and tell their part, right? So Tasha K is like, I did speak to your dad, I did speak to your brother, and I did speak to his now divorced wife. She's no longer his wife. So Tasha K, that means that when you said that bullshit before about the wife and you not knowing who the wife was, that was a lie. You did know. You did know. When Chantel was speaking about that, she said current wife. Why? Because Chantel in her mind still believed that they were still married. So Chantel was talking about Leah. So how the fuck Tasha K make it seem like at that moment she didn't know who the wife was, but now she's saying, I did speak to the now divorced wife. She's no longer his wife. Huh? Yo, I don't understand this woman. And by woman, I mean Tasha K. Like, I don't understand you. I do. Let me clear that up. I do. But that's neither here nor there. And Tasha K talking about, you know, the ex-wife don't have anything to gain from this. I guess that means that, you know, Tasha K is saying that the ex-wife, because she don't have anything to gain, she didn't have to do this, but she decided to anyway. So that's speaking volumes about her. I mean, she can speak up just like anybody else can fucking speak up. It is what it is. That don't mean that what she has to say is true. It don't mean it's not true. But it can be refuted. And Miss Chantel said, she been cheating on, excuse me, Miss Chantel is telling Tasha K that the husband been cheating on the ex-wife. And Miss Chantel says that the ex-wife is not in a new relationship. That she's not in a new relationship. And Tasha K says that they know because they all came and they all did their interviews. And remember, the ex-wife told her during the interview that she's now with a new man, and that new man didn't want her to come on to the show in defense of her ex-husband, because the new man that she got is not her husband. And Miss Chantel is like, well, how do you know that that's her boyfriend? I mean, I think that what's wrong with that question? What's wrong with that question? You know that that's the ex-wife's boyfriend. Why? Because the ex-wife told you that was her boyfriend. All I'm saying is, people can tell you anything that they want to tell you, regardless if that's what the situation really is. Because that's what all this shit boils down to. And at the end of the day, a lot of the times, it is about what you can prove. Except when all you got is circumstantial evidence. There's no tangible evidence to support when you got circumstantial evidence. That's all I'm saying. I mean, the way Tasha K is talking, what do you mean? She don't want your daddy? She don't want your daddy? Are you her? Do you know what she wants? Because she say that? I don't trust that lady. That's what I'm going to tell you. I don't trust that ex-wife. If she's the ex-wife, I don't trust her. I promise you I don't trust her. I was on edge when she was talking and said that she was raised in a house where they had foster children coming. She was raised in a foster child home where they were taking care of children. And she was told by her family members not to basically it was explained to her to have a certain type of understanding for these kids that were coming into the home. I was already on edge about her for personal reasons. So, and I still stand on that right now. I don't trust this ex-wife. I sure don't. Miss Chantel is saying that the father has been with another woman for the last 3 years, but on paper, I'm gonna put quotation marks around this because this is me saying paper, but Miss Chantel is saying, why is she still legally married to him? And he's been in a whole nother relationship for the last 3 years. And Miss Tasha K is saying because they are still going through the divorce. So technically, she's not even the ex-wife yet. She's still the wife. So Miss Chantel was right to say the current wife. She was right to say that. Because the lady that came on to interview with Tasha K in defense of Clarence Freeman is the wife that was in the house during the time that Chantel was coming up with her father. This is the same woman. But the whole time they kept referring to her as the ex-wife. She's not the ex-wife yet legally. They're still married. And Clarence is the father. He's already in a relationship. He's been in a relationship with another woman for the last 3 years, even though he's still married. So technically, Miss Chantel is correct in when she says that the current wife, she's right. So at this point, hold on, y'all. Okay, so Miss Chantel has her mom on the phone. Okay, the mom, you can hear the mom asking her if she's on the interview. And Miss Chantel says yes. And Tasha K is interjecting, talking about, is that Miss Loretta? Miss Tasha and Miss Chantel is like telling her mom, yeah, I'm here with Tasha K, and it just seems like this lady, she done talked to Clarence, and she trying to paint her to be a liar, and she's not a liar, and she knows what happens to her. And she said, Mom, you could tell this woman about what Clarence did to you. And Miss Tasha K is saying, no, your mother coached you. She coached you. Hold the fuck up. You got that from Clarence. Because Clarence said that, and I'm calling him Clarence. That's the father. He told Tasha K that in the interview that Miss Chantel's mother was coaching the kids. So she got that from Clarence. What the fuck? Because I am telling you that I fully and wholeheartedly support Chantel. And she's the only one in this situation that gets my support. Because she is the victim here. She is the victim here. Why? Because she was the victim then. And she's the victim now. Before she was the victim of the private. The private victim. Now she's the victim of the public. But she ain't gonna be a victim by herself. I can guarantee you that. She ain't gonna be a victim out here by herself. Because all the other victims in the private, in the same manner as her, are victims of the public themselves. And that's what I know. That's what I know. And you got those of us who fucking give in, and it's like, oh nah, nobody believes me, nobody cares, nobody understands, they all think I'm crazy, I'm not, and they just do away with themselves. But then you have those of us who are here for the challenge. Okay? You got those of us who are here for the challenge, okay? All day. All day. All fucking day. All day. And when I say that Miss Chantel is a victim, she's a fucking victim.